Hi there everyone. We're going to be doing some first explorations into left hand technique today. Now, as with the bow, when we first started off, we didn't actually do it on the cello at all. We're going to do this away from the cello as well. First of all, we just need to get used to moving our fingers. Now, before you play, whether you're an expert and you've been playing for donkey's years, or whether you're a complete beginner, we always find it useful to start moving our fingers and just warming ourselves up, just like an athlete would do. Just as important for us to do this as it is for a marathon runner or a sprinter. Okay, so I'm just starting off with some basic moving things. Now I'm going to move my wrists as well. Okay, now I'm going to shake them about. Floppy hands. So by now you should be feeling like your fingers are getting nice and warm. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is make a big fist, nice strong fist, and then let it go. Floppy hand. Strong fist, squeeze it, now let it go. Floppy. Good. Right now, so on the cello, we have thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Okay, we don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like a piano. We go thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what we tend to do is we tend to make a nice circular shape. Can you see in here? I turn around that way. You can see it's a very open, circular shape of hand. It's actually what feels most natural. If you just have a completely relaxed hand, you probably find that there is a kind of openness in here. It's not relaxed to go like this, more relaxed to have your fingers and your thumb further apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to experiment first of all. We're going to touch our fingers to our thumb in turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try and do it without actually looking at your finger. See if you can hit that spot. So you don't need to look at it to make sure that your finger and your thumb actually properly touch. Just look away as you do it. You'll feel whether or not it's happening. Everything we do on our left hand has got to be done by touch and by hearing. When we get on the cello, we actually hear whether the note is too high or too low. If we start looking, this is what happens. Everything moves. If my hand stays, my posture changes. Now when my posture changes, the position of my body to my hand has altered. But we'll come into that in more detail in another session when we actually get our left hands onto the cello. So for first of all, that first thing, just get used to meeting your fingers. Right? And then you can test yourselves or get someone to help you out. Say 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1, 2. So at random, try them out in different random combinations. Of course, if you're doing it for yourself, it's cheating slightly because you already get a bit of a head start as to what finger you're actually going to choose. The aim of the game with that one not only is to make that lovely circle and to meet with nice rounded fingers, fingertip to thumb tip, really clearly, but it's also to get really quick at deciding which finger it's going to be. So which finger is number 1? Oh yeah, it's this one. Then number 3. Oh yeah, it's that one. Straight away. No hesitation at all. Right. Once you can do that without having to think about it, and you can do it straight away in a split second, and someone can ask you how gives you a finger. So it's not you doing it for yourself, but someone tells you which one to use and you can respond instantly. Then you're ready to do the next part. Now this is possibly a little bit odd to begin with. If you take your right hand, so this was all done with your left hand. The name is in the title, left hand technique, obviously. If you take your right hand and then put it somewhere around about just under your ear, you could pretend that you've got a cello. Now, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to put our fingers on the top side and our thumb underneath. We're still keeping that nice round, open shape. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to practice putting all our fingers on. So we call that fourth finger, because fourth finger is the last one to go down. Now I'm going to do third finger. That's just got 3 fingers down, hasn't it? So we take your little finger off and do the other 3. And now take that one off and just do the first 2. And then just try 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Now, the reason we're doing this on an arm rather than cello is because you can feel, your arm can feel how hard you're pressing with your fingers. And also, crucially, how hard you're pressing with your thumb. Now, your thumb really shouldn't be pressing at all. It should feel as light as a feather around the back. But you should feel a fair amount of pressure going in through those fingers, especially the one that's lowest down. So when I say 4, I've got all 4 fingers going down. I'm not actually pressing with these fingers, but I'm being really strong with the 4th finger. Likewise, when I say 3, I'm being very strong with the 3rd finger. But I'm not actually pressing with these ones, and I can feel that because I'm doing it on my arm. Okay. I can also feel that I'm not pressing with my thumb. When I do 2, I'm not pressing with 1, and my thumb is nice and light. Okay. So I call these trampolines. Okay. So you've got fingertips and trampolines. Okay. Go away, practice those, get used to moving those fingers, and join me for the next lesson where we'll actually put all of this onto the cello and do some more little exercises to help to build your left hand technique. Bye for now.